Howdy y'all, thank you for joining us today for this probably going to be a pretty short video, but I figured I'd do it anyways for people that may be interested or not. But this is, so Spirit Island has two promo packs that are on their website. Promo pack number 1, which has a couple spirits in it along with some of their starter cards. And promo pack number 2, which looks like it has quite a ton of other little extra stuff. So we're going to tear into these, and then once we do that, also, while I was on their website, I noticed they had this Errata pack, which I do not think I need, but I figured I would show it on here. That way you could check your own personal collection and see if it's something that you needed for your game or not. Without much ado, let's jump right into promo pack number 1. All right. So as you can see here, we have the serpent slumbering beneath the island. Start off limited to 5 presence on the island. Raise this with your absorb essence power card. Each use covers the lowest revealed number. Your presence limit is the lowest uncovered number. So you are limited on how to do your presence. And as you can see here, this has an interesting way it does its track. And then you can see its powers here, along with its innate powers. And then on the back, you can see it's got the typical story here, along with the setup, and along with the play style. So this looks like it could be a very interesting one to do. And it already mentioned that its powers are going to have something to do with this. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the powers. Alright, so we have its 4 power cards here. And as you can see, this one is a fast 1 cost. Target spirit gains a minor power. Target spirit chooses to either play it immediately by paying its cost or gain. That seems pretty cool. I mean, you can get a minor power and get to play it immediately, possibly. In those cases when you might need a defense, you're hoping to draw one. Or it can give you these things so you could trigger, oh my god, spirits things so you could trigger some of your other stuff. So seems pretty decent. Then we have another one, gift of flowing power, if I can learn to talk. But 1 for a fast. Target spirit gains 1 energy. Target spirit chooses to either play another power card by paying its cost or gain. So this one seems like it's going to help other spirits just be able to get their stuff. And so far, I mean, 3 fast powers. I mean, 2, and it's a fast power to gain 3 energy. Move 1 of target spirit's presence from the board to your deep slumber track. Absorbed presence cannot be returned to play. Target spirit gains 1 any and 1 energy. That's interesting because it's basically going to make you have to eat other spirits' presence so that you can get more max presence so that you can move up your board. So, interesting. And so far, that means all 4 of his starting powers are this spirit's starting powers are fast, 1, defend 2 and target land and all adjacent lands for every presence on your deep slumber track. Defend 1 and target land and all adjacent lands. So, I mean, given and defend 2 already, and then given +1 for every single one on your essence track, that seems pretty decent. Just means now you're going to have to absorb other people's essences. And it does have a pick 2 on its growth chart. So, sounds like a fun spirit to try out. And then the other one in the promo pack is Heart of the Wildfire. And you can see here, it's got the typical basic track. But you can see its blazing presence here that after you add or move presence after setup in the land it goes to, for each fire showing on your presence tracks, do 1 damage. If 2 fire or more shown on your presence track, add 1 blight. Push all animals in any number of Dahan. And if you add multiple presence into a land at the same time, only do the above effects once. Destructive nature, blight added due to spirit effects. Does not destroy your presence. I was about to say, because something made me think It added a lot of blight to the lands. As you can see, some of its innate powers here. Oh, that's what it was. So you can see the back of its card here, Heart of the Wildfire. You can see its story. And you can see there in the setup, you were going to add some blight to the board. And then you can see all the other information there. And then we got his powers, or I keep wanting to say this spirit's powers. And as you can see here, a 2 slow, 2 cost slow power. But you can cause 1 fear, do 1 damage, and if you have a 2 wind, so if you have another wind showing, this power is fast. So it's got to do another fast. And then we have another one here that's 2 cost slow. Does have that wind he needs, but he has to have a double presence. Or it has to be from a double presence. It is 1 fear, destroy 1 town, and push 1 Dahan. Flame's Fury, fast, 0. Target spirit gains 1 energy. Target spirit does +1 damage with each damage dealing power they use this turn. So this is a good one just to help whichever spirit is actually needs to do damage. And you're going to buff that damage for free, but you got to be able to cast extra spells. And then another 0 cost fast, but it's got to be a blighted land with invaders. You push 1 explorer and or town per terror level, or town per terror level from target land to adjacent lands without your presence. There are no such adjacent lands, causes 2 fear. Alright. Like I said, anything that could add to the game, I was down for, so I knew I was going to order these no matter what. So I'm ready to add those in, but that was promo pack number 1. Now we're going to go into promo pack number 2 here. Which I'm curious, because like I said, there's a bunch of cards in this pack. So I'm assuming there has to be more than just the power cards in this pack. So right off the bat, we got some extra, I don't know, I guess call them kickers or things for the solo play. And then we have the Kingdom of Scotland. And then another scenario, a diversity of spirits. And then another scenario, varied terrains. And then the 2 new spirits, along with the rules for the promos. And you can see here, let you know all the components here. And we can already kind of see it's going to be, we can already see the cards now. 10 unique power cards, 5 fear cards, 5 aspect cards, and 4 adversary reminder tiles. Well, we saw that. So we know the cards are going to be some new fear cards. But it's got the aspect cards here. New isolate rule. And the details on that. Presence track bonuses. Saved from destruction. And then actions. And then frequently asked questions. All interesting stuff. All right. All right, we're going to start off here with Finders of Paths Unseen. As you can see here, it's just another pick 1 with some interesting different growth aspects. And then it's got this weird, this one looks like water. And you can see how that track can do, you're going to be doing something different than what the basic tracks were doing, along with its innate powers here. Then we have its special rules, responsibilities to the dead. After one of your actions destroys 1 or more Dahan and or invaders, or directly triggers their destruction by moving them, destroy 1 of your presence and lose 1 energy. You have no energy to lose, destroy another presence. Open the ways. You may make up to 2 of your lands adjacent at a time. You may change which lands are adjacent once between actions. I'm about to say, yeah, that sounds pretty difficult because you're not really wanting to destroy what you need to do in the game. And if you are, you're losing presence. Yeah, this guy sounds kind of difficult. And we saw it when I flipped this over, it's very high for difficulty. So there's a story on it. It's got its setup here, its play style. And then you can see very high complexity, but that control is off the board, but its offense is very low because it can't do damage. If it's doing damage, it's kind of hurting itself. So be interested to see how this one works. And then I thought it was strange when I saw 10 because all the spirits usually have 4 of their starter cards. This one has 6. And I noticed it when I opened it up. So we got Traveler's Boon here. It's 0 cost, fast. Target spirit moves up to 3 of their presence to one of your lands. They may move up to 1 invader, 1 Dahan, and 1 animal along with their presence. So ties to that control. 1 cost, speed, move up to 4 Dahan between target lands and one of your lands. The next time Dahan would be destroyed in target land, destroy 2 fewer Dahan. So kind of a defense without being a defense. So it makes it to where the Dahan are doing the damage instead of you, so that you don't have to lose your presence. And then 2 with fast. For each Dahan, you may move 1 invader or Dahan or presence or animal to, or beast I think they're called, actually not animal, to a land within 2 range that has Dahan. Then we have a 0 slow. Move up to 2 invaders or Dahan or presence or beast to a land within 2 range that has the same terrain. And then 1 cost, slow, push up to 2 invaders or Dahan or presence or beast to a land that is also coastal or inland. And then 0 cost, slow, push up to half of, rounded up, of invaders from target land. Do likewise separately for Dahan, presence, and beasts. So as you saw, every single one of those cards was all about control, which is what this thing was so big on. So makes sense. And then we have Downpour Drenches the World. As you can see, it's a pick 1. Kind of has a normal looking track along with its innate powers. And then its special rules. Drench the landscape. Spirits, actions, and special rules treat your double presence as wetlands in addition to the printed terrain. Pour down power across the island for each 2 water you have. During the fast and or slow phase, you may either gain 1 energy or repeat one of your land targeting power cards by paying its cost again. Use scenario markers or spare game pieces to track uses of this rule. Okay. Just give you a good look at the back there. And you can see its story or its setup, its play style. You can see it's a high complexity with a lot of defense. So since it has that defense so high, I'm expecting one of its starting cards to possibly be defense. We will see. 1 cost, slow, 2 damage to town. If target land is wetlands, you may instead deal 1 damage to each town or city. 1 cost, fast. Target spirit either gains 2 energy or may repeat 1 power card this turn by paying its cost. Either you or target spirit may add 1 destroyed presence to a wetlands where you have presence. 0 cost, fast. 1 fear. Push 2 Dahan. Defend 3. If target land is wetlands, isolate it. So interesting. So it's got the defend there, but you're going to have to push Dahan. So going to have to push the Dahan out or have a lot of extra Dahan in there. 1 cost, fast. Isolate target land. I guess that comes to that isolate rule. So I decided to look up what isolate meant quickly. I mean, I went over it slowly when we were showing the rules, but it's an interesting effect because isolate basically makes it to where The land is, like it said, isolated. So invaders do not explore the land, and they cannot be the source of explorers. As far as invader pieces are concerned, an isolated land isn't adjacent to anything unless you want to be. So if you know the deck and you know what could possibly be getting targeted, it's kind of interesting because you can isolate the land, hoping that that one won't get targeted if you can just kind of narrow it down a little bit. It also lets you push 1 explorer and up to 2 Dahan. So we only saw 1 defense card, but you can kind of see how it can be an interesting build. Then we have some new aspect cards, which were in one of the expansions. And you can see Vital Strength of the Earth. And then we have River Surges in Sunlight. And then Lightning Swift Strike. And then Shadows Flicker Like Flame. And then Shadows Flicker Like Flame. All right. Last part of this promo pack, where there are 5 fear cards in there, which gives us some Angry Mobs, Mimic the Dahan, Depopulation, Communities in Disarray, and Spreading Timidity. And I'm sure I mentioned it earlier, but if I didn't, these are promos that I found on their website. You can just order the promo pack straight from their website and see what it's all about. See if it's something, if you're, as you can see, you can look at this video, see if it's something you are interested in. Now, the other thing I saw in there, and it was fairly cheap, I don't think I needed it, but I figured I'd order it just in case, is they had this, it's called an Errata pack. I believe it said if you had the first edition is the only time you need it. But I figured why not just order it? It was fairly cheap. And see if I need it. And then I could also just put it on here. That way you can see. And I have a page kind of brought up that's supposed to tell me what the errors are that you are replacing. Alright, I am kind of reading this off a thing. But I'll try to edit out anything where I'm just kind of figuring it out, but I'll try to show you what each thing's supposed to be different. This one is something from the base game. And all it is this top left corner right here is not yellow. And it just lets you find the beginner powers easier. So that's really the only change on that one. This one, it's actually down here. The old one, if you have it, says increase the powers range by 1 instead of increase this powers range by 1. This one's kind of a minor one, really. All it is, and I'm sorry, that last one was from the base game. This one's from Branch and Claw. And it's right here. This is just bold now instead of not being bold. And the original has a line in between these 2 sentences, basically. And then this one is from the base game. And it's the same thing from the first one, where this is not green. So it just lets you find it for finding the starting powers quicker. Alright, these are the 3 major powers. And on this one, all it changes is the original says push all from target land to as many lands as possible, where it's supposed to be push all explorers, or explorer, that symbol, from target land to as many different lands as possible. Then it's the insatiable hunger of the swarm. And the only change is the original, it's right here where it says gather up to 2 beasts. The original, and this is in Branch and Claw, sorry. The other one was in base game. I should have remembered that. So you know where you're looking at. Dissolve the bonds is in base game. This one is in Branch and Claw. And like I said, where it says gather up to 2 beasts, here on the original in Branch and Claw, it says gather up to 2 beasts and then it just says each deal 1 fear. All this does is let you know each beast deals 1 fear. So it's gathering up to 2, but if there's more beasts there, you're going to cause more fear, basically. And then this next one is from Branch and Claw also. And on the original, it says remove an invader of all 4 Branch and Claw symbols, basically of these symbols from Branch and Claw. So it says remove an invader of, and now it's changed to remove any number of those symbols. I'm pretty sure I had this that card last time, so I think I do have this one already in its corrected form, because I think I remember doing that. All right, next, there are 4 events. The first one is from Branch and Claw. And most of these are probably going to all be from Branch and Claw. Well, I guess it could be from the newest expansion, but I think it's going to be just Branch and Claw because that's where the events were introduced. And I'm going to start with showing the changes because it's harder to imagine which one you have. So the change on this card is just really in title is all it is. There's 2 actually on this card. This one says interesting discoveries. The original says interacting discoveries. And then the other part is down here where it says wheeze lung outbreak. The original says weaseling outbreak. And this one's just a minor change. It's more flavor text. But where it says here, they grow even wilder and more savage. The original says they grow even wilder and more ravage. And this one's from Tooth and Claw, or Branch and Claw. On this one, which is from Branch and Claw, the change says on each board, add 1 blight to a land adjacent to a land with blight. The original just says on each board, add 1 blight to a land with blight. So it doesn't say it has to be adjacent. And then the last one is from Branch and Claw. It's right here. It says for each board, discard the top major power. The original old card says for each board, discard the top minor power. So that one's kind of a substantial change because it's major instead of minor. Which once again, I'm pretty sure that means, I'm pretty sure we hit this one last time I played, and I do remember it being a major power because I remember saying that's kind of significant. So I'm pretty sure I have this one already. All right, the next changes are on this scenario card here that can be found in Branch and Claw. It is the powers long forgotten. The first one is just a cosmetic one, and that's just that this is bold to let you know there is an exception, whereas the original, it is not bold. And then the other change is on the back here on line number 1, where it says unless the spirit spends an additional energy there. The original says unless the spirit spends and additional energy. All right, and the last 2 changes are going to be on actual player or spirit boards. First one will be on this, a spread of rampant growth. Or green, sorry. A spread of rampant green from the base game. And it's here in your power. It says you may prevent it by destroying. Whereas the original says you prevent it by destroying. So this is letting you know it's optional. Instead of, well, I guess the other one, still, depending on how you read it. Oh, no, yeah, it says you prevent it by destroying. This is letting you know you may prevent it by destroying. And then the last one is on Shadows Flicker Like Flame from the base game. And all it is, a very minor cosmetic one, but it's on the top here. It's just Shadows Flicker Like Flame, which is its title, whereas the original just has like a little apostrophe Shadows Flicker Like Flame. So really, you can see a lot of it was just cosmetic errata changes, but it was also not that expensive. I want to say if you were going to order the other ones anyways, and you happen to have some of the errata ones, which is why I did it, because it was only like I said, like $5 or something like that. But anyways, sorry if that's too much editing, because I know I stopped. I'm going to have to do a bunch of editing and cuts here and there, but I'm going to try to edit it out to where it just sounds like smooth. But I just wanted to show you what you could get off of their website if you are a completionist, or if you are just curious what exactly that does, or whether you need the errata pack, or whether you want the promo packs, or whatnot. So, all right, we're going to get this all thrown into my game, and now I'm anxious to play it again like I always am, so we'll get to it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.